Hey guys, Brian Collada here. Have you entered our charity sweepstakes yet? Now, who doesn't want to win a brand new picoscope for 10 measly dollars? Each $10 donation will get you one entry to win an Opus IVS Special Edition Autologic Black Picoscope 4425 Standard Kit. Wow, that was a mouthful. Now, this kit has all of the good stuff in it. You have a low amp, you have a high amp, you have a secondary wand, you have all of the leads, you have the ignition coil extensions, etc., etc. When you're at the donation menu, make sure you choose the quantity before you finish to raise your chances to win. You can choose one donation for $10, or you can choose 5 or 10 or however many you like to purchase. Visit our website, trainbytex.com, for all of the details and the rules for this sweepstakes.
Hey everybody, Rich Falco here, and I've got a quick little video here on how I got my butt kicked trying to fix my own van. All right, everybody, so what we've got is a 2014 Mercedes Sprinter with a blower motor in up. You can see right here, I got blower motor set to full speed, and you don't hear a fan running. So we need to check that out. So I start with a code scan, makes sense. I hook up my scan tool, I scan all modules, and for you Euro guys, you might want to sit down here for a second because you're going to be a little surprised. No codes. Not a single code in any module. I swear I didn't clear stuff ahead of time. So I have nothing scan tool wise as far as a diagnostic direction. I can go into the air conditioning, and there is an actuation test for the front blower, and it doesn't respond to my actuation test. So the blower doesn't work from the scan tool, it doesn't work from the dash. All right, so let's do some pinpoint testing. Blower resistor, blower motor are behind the glove box. It's not difficult, about 3-4 screws, and that's dropped out of the way. And I have no power to the blower resistor or the blower motor. All right, time to figure out which fuse. And here's where I start heading in the wrong direction. So I bring up my service information. I went to MotoLogic, I went to All Data, and it just wasn't finding wiring diagrams at all, and then ended up finding it on Identifix. And this isn't a DIN class, so I don't want to steal, you know, that if you want to learn about DIN wiring diagrams, go take Chris Martino's class. But F5255/2, fuse box 55/2, fuse F3, 30 amp fuse, supplies these two wires. If I scroll down just a little bit here, those two wires, make sure I've got the right one, yeah. Those two wires go to blower resistor and blower motor. I have no power on these two red wires. Okay, let's go to the fuse. F55/2. Where is F55/2? Oop. F55/2. Do a search. It does give me a location. Okay, so this is where the OBD2 connector is, under the left side of the dash. And there's F55/2. Fuse F3. All right, so now I've already fixed this, so you guys are gonna have to imagine this, but I get to here, get this guy out of the way. I get to here, and this bottom fuse panel is not there. This bottom fuse panel had been pushed in and was laying in the bottom of this cover. So what do I see? I see all these fuses, and they're all numbered. I don't have a 30 amp fuse. I see just this row, just this here, and on fuse 3 is a 25 amp fuse, and my first thought is, okay, well, the fuse is blown, somebody's replaced it with a 25 amp fuse, probably that is blown, and I check it and I have power. I've got power on fuse 3, and I checked all of these. And now I'm off to the races in the wrong direction. This fuse panel was laying in the bottom. And if I had looked at my service information a little bit more carefully, F55-2 was the bottom box, not the top box. Go back to that. This is F55-1. I didn't pay attention, and I only saw one box, so I made an assumption that F3 was the fuse I need to focus on. So now I'm tearing half the dash apart because, you know, this van was at the dealer just 2 or 3 weeks ago for a passenger side airbag recall. And I'm thinking, you know, oh boy, I get to blame a dealer tech for leaving a plug unplugged or something not fully seated. And I chased a wiring problem that wasn't there. Had to go back and look at my service information and say to myself, what the heck am I missing? And that's when I saw, if I looked carefully, this empty box, there were wires and there was something laying down in the bottom. Brought that up, pulled it out, and what I found was that 30 amp fuse. That looks pretty good, right? Not quite. Yeah, we got a problem. So, okay, I got a blown fuse. Just get a bigger fuse, right? Well, let's put a 30 amp fuse in there. I hope you can hear the fan kicked on. And it's responding. So yay, I fixed the car. No, I found the problem. Or I found the result of the problem, is what I should say. You know, fuses that melt like that are an indication that we have a serious current draw. So the fact that I found a blown fuse doesn't mean that this car is fixed. It means that what I really need to do is more testing. So, time to grab my AES Wave current loop, put that fuse in there, plug this in, maybe plug this in. And then bust out the old fuse scope and amp clamp. And now my stupid fat fingers in the way. And now as I change speed, we can see the current drop and climb back up. According to this, my blower motor at max speed is drawing about, I think that's 17 amps. I got a 30 amp fuse. Most circuits are fused for 2 to 3 times their normal draw. It looks okay right now. Again, slow it down. Actually, let's see if we can. There's off. Let's see if we can catch a inrush. Yeah. So I might have to speed up my sample rate a little bit there, but it doesn't look that bad. But that doesn't mean there isn't a problem, and I might leave my U-scope on and just put this up on the dash and drive around with this and see if when the blower motor's been running for a while, if we have any large spikes in current, and try to catch why that 30 amp fuse not only blew but melted half of the fuse panel there. More than likely, we're going to be replacing the blower and the blower resistor, because if they've been carrying that kind of current, then you know we probably have an issue here. So yeah, I didn't pay attention to service information, and I made some assumptions, and that sent me off in the wrong direction. I didn't waste a lot of time, you know, 10 or 15 minutes pulling some things apart to realize, I'm missing something, and have to circle my wagons and go back and recheck everything. But just, you know, pay attention. I guess that's the whole point here, is when you're looking at service information, if the things on the car don't match what you read in service information, don't just make the assumption, oh, somebody probably replaced the fuse. No, you might be looking at the wrong thing. So that's it for today. I'll let everybody know how I make out with a new blower motor or a new blower resistor in a later video. Have a good one. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, so I want to add 2 quick things. Number 1, I kept saying fuse F3 because it said fuse F3 on the wiring diagram. If I had paid attention to the legend, I would have realized that fuse F3 on the wiring diagram was fuse 12, and I would have saved myself a little bit of trouble. The other thing we want to remember is that fuse wasn't just blown, it was melted. So I may have some connection issues here. I've been through enough melted GM fuse blocks to know that can cause a problem. That fuse looked like it was carrying a lot of current and generated a lot of heat, and we may have some connection issues. So I want to check pin tension. I want to make sure I don't have a bad connection right at the connector itself. Now I could use my AES wave loop, and I can feel it. It's in there, it's nice and tight. Or I can take one of the test leads that matches the size of my fuses and check each one individually to make sure that I have a nice tight connection. I don't want to put that in place and have it fall out, but I can feel that there's a good connection there. The pin tension is fine. And as something Chris Martino mentioned, I should probably add to the video. So pin tension is good. 10-hour drive up to North Carolina later, and no blown fuses yet. So we'll see. Thanks.